What's up, besties? I hope you're having an excellent day. Long story short, I decided that I want to have a crinoline, so we're making a crinoline in this video. This crinoline with a detachable little raffle at the bottom. I thought that this would be a good idea in case it is visible from under the skirt or dress. So yeah, let's get to it. First, I thought I can provide a bit of a context for why I decided to do it the way I'm doing it. Because if you look at the crinolines, going for example to wedding dresses nowadays, they are not built yet like that. They just have one big hoop at the bottom, and that's it. And I don't think this shape they make is ugly or anything like that, but that's just not what I was going for. I didn't want this cone shape, I wanted this more historical dome or bell shape, so that requires more hoops to build it up better, and also I think this makes your hips look nice because it's like accentuated. So first I decided to engage in some royal cheating because I have not seen anyone use Blender to design stuff like that. Maybe people do, but I measured the circumference of my waist and how long I wanted the crinoline to be, and then I just made this shape in Blender, making sure that the top of the dome is that circumference and that the height of it is the length I want the whole thing to be. And I just play with the shape a bit to make the right shape of dome, remembering that I don't want it too big. I think it came out a little too big, but regardless, I then just use the ruler to measure all of the diameters of the circles I decided to have and the length in between them, because it's a dome, so it's going to be longer than the actual height it has. I am bad with explaining math, especially in English. And yeah, that's just the design. I didn't have to do too much math, I just made the shape and measured it. So, the remaining math is very simple. The formula for the circumference of a circle is 2 pi r. So I've already got 2r. So I just have to multiply all of those by pi. And the top circle is not made out of the stiff material, so that's measured for the line that I'm using. The other ones you summon up, and that's for the stiff material. As a stiff material, I'm using boning. I'm going to show it in a second. And then, aside from the top circle, which is made out of the line, also the supporting vertical lines are made out of that. And now you can see in the 3D model that I added a lot of those, it just so that the circles are more circular. I did not add that many, that would be hell to make. I only added, I believe, 8 of those. So to measure how much of the line I need for those, I summed up all of those numbers that are in between the circles, right? And multiplied that by 8. And then I added a bit more for the tying of the one on top. It could be a rubber, for example. It could hold up on a rubber, but I figured I can tie it on my waist, and in this way I think it's easier to put on. Now, this is quite clumsily recorded, but you can see me measuring and cutting the circles out of boning. This is the type of boning that you would use to make other clothes. It's plastic, and I ordered it online because this is quite a large quantity, and that's just the cheaper way to do that when you order stuff in larger quantities. I don't even think that physical stores near me had that much, especially of black boning. And I wanted it to be black because all of my clothes are black, so that's just like the logical thing to do. And I used elastic tape to connect the two ends. I ended up reinforcing it later, but that's later. For now, I just wanted to make the circles and make sure that the sizes are alright. I attached the first vertical string while holding this on my desk because, you know, it was all loose at that point, and just a bunch of pieces. And the way I was attaching the strings, I think I'm going to draw it like so it's better visible, is that I took the circle, took the string, I measured how much in between, you know, the circles they're supposed to be, and first I sewed it so the string can't move up to down on the circle, right? And then I used the elastic tape again so that the circle can't move sideways in the string. So it's not possible to gather all of the strings at one point on the circle because they're attached by tape, but the strings can't also slide up and down because they're sewn to the circles. So I think that's quite sturdy in this way. For the second sporting line, I just wanted to make sure it's exactly on the opposite side of the first one, so I tried marking it with a Posca pen and just hope that would be good enough. And yeah, joined it the same method. Yeah, but hopefully it holds up somehow. I've put more tape here, but you know, it's going to untape itself, so that's my construction, and I'm going to do like right in the middle here and at the back. Alright, so this is actually way less wonky than I expected it to be at this stage. I'm definitely going to add like one more line in between each, so there will be 8 total, and if the bottom is still a little unstiff, I could add some just to the bottom panels. I don't think the top ones need more than 8. But yeah, it's actually coming out pretty good so far. I hope the length of the strings is fine. Here on the top I've left myself some additional room, so hopefully none of those are too short. Yeah, I think this is enough. There is 8 of these strings, right? 8? Is it 8? This one isn't attached because I'm going to detach all of them, and this one was just the last one that I did. It took a lot of time, way more than it looks like. Especially that I didn't have time, and this is taking forever. The tape is coming undone in a few places, but I think I'm just going to hot glue it. I'm not going to put any more tape on here. This thing is actually way more sturdy than I expected it to be. I'm yanking it quite a bit. I'm scared to make the easel fall over, so I'm not going to do it with a lot of force. But it's staying quite well. And yeah, the tension is not even. But if one of the like more tense ones fails, there are the looser ones to support it. So it's I wasn't that precise. It's like sometimes there is like a centimeter off in some places. So yeah, but that's where we're at. I think we're doing good. I think we're doing well so far. Again, this will be looking better once I made it even. You can see that there is a whole mess happening up here because it just attached like that, and I attached it several times, and I just didn't care where the actual middle is. I measured everything I was doing anyway, so yeah, hopefully that's good enough. The next step was attaching the final string at the top. and I made both of the ends a bit longer than like geometrically necessary for the sake of being able to tie it, because I'm not using rubber, so I can't sew it together because then it won't get through my hips. This way I can just tie it, and it's also nice because if my weight fluctuates, you know, whether it's a bit smaller or bigger, you can still fit. So that's nice. Then I took a long strip of fabric. I made a long strip of fabric. I didn't remember exact numbers, but I wanted it to be nearly 3 times as much as the bottom circle, and that one was had 2 meters in circumference, and I believe I made this stripe 20 centimeters tall and 5.6 meters long. So long, definitely long. And I hemmed one of the edges, and the other one I made a little tunnel. Like I flipped it and then flipped it again. So I made a little tunnel in it, and I joined the 2 edges. Then I took a safety pin, I attached it to a string, and I pulled it through all of this tunnel. It was a bit of an arms workout, I must admit. The reason why I did that is that I can then change the size of the ruffle at the end, because, well, what I'm making is the ruffle at the bottom, and I can make it bigger or smaller or whatever I want. And we're basically done. I attached the ruffle to the crinoline with safety pins and some ribbons, and yeah, I made it detachable because if I want to change colors now, I just change the ruffle and not make a whole new crinoline. So that's how it looks without it, and turns out I don't really have anything to put on it. Here's the fanciest dress I could find, which is my prom dress, which fits on me but not on the crinoline, so yeah, you can kind of see it awkwardly peeking from the back at some points. It's too small, but you can definitely see how it changes the shape. So I guess we have another sewing project idea now, so something that will fit on the crinoline. As a bonus, I figured I can actually make this ruffle so small that it can be a micro skirt, and I just added some lace at the bottom to make it like more fancy, and yeah, it's a cute micro skirt. It can serve 2 purposes. Yeah, I think this is all from me for now. I hope this video was in any way interesting or maybe helpful to you if you're making a similar project. And yeah, if you have any advice or ideas on what to make in the future, or any thoughts, how's your day, anything, I would love it if you left that in the comment section down below. And for now, just keep yourself safe, hug your pets from me, stay creative, and peace!